Okay, so indicators, what are indicators? So basically in Forex, tunatumianga something we call indicators. Ama kuna indicators which usually help could determine where the market is likely to go. In short, in the end of the day, tunatry to get market kama ikimove juu ama itamove chini. That is what you're aiming at, okay? So in the end of the day, that is what we'll be chasing after. That is what we'll be looking at. Okay, guys? Okay, inasema in a record session and I don't get it. Okay, so in the end of the day, we are trying to get the best possible outcome from the markets. So people tend to use indicators so that they can have something better and to see where the market is likely to move to in the next near future, okay? So indicators, so they're used to assist, zitakusaidia in your entries, zitakusaidia in your exits, zitakusaidia in telling you where the market is likely to move to, okay? Kuna zile zitakuambia the volatility of the market, the momentum in the market, volume. Kama market iko likely ku move sideways, kuna indicators zitakuambia kama kuna hiyo volume ya kuzidrive in a certain direction ama ku reverse the market, okay? Then tuko na the trend indicators, okay? Tuko na trend indicators, momentum indicators, volatility indicators, volume indicators, okay? Those are just some examples. So all this is based on Pips Masters, Trader's Handbook, okay? The lessons guide. So yeah. So what is, okay, kuna lagging indicators, okay? So kwa Forex, tuko na indicators zenye zitakwambia when something is going to happen before, na kuna indicators zitakwambia when something is likely to happen afterwards, okay? So tukisema lagging indicators, these are indicators zitakwambia once something has already happened, kama market isha move, that's when the indicator is going to tell you the market ita move in this direction, okay? So advantages and disadvantages of using indicators, okay? So indicators, they're very good, but in the end of the day, these indicators, 90%, a big percentage of them, will either tell you after the move has already occurred, after the move has occurred, okay? So you need to be very careful ikifika to these indicators. Kate, okay. Try check your mic, your mic. Okay, so I hope everybody are comfortable ama mnanisikia cause natumia very different system yenye hata mwenyewe sielewi. So yeah, anyway, moving on. So the main disadvantage with indicators ni either zitakwambia way before the market imefanya a certain move, na ukiingia you'll probably be, pardon? So yeah, so most probably ukiingia hiyo market utapata umeingia early ama umeingia late, okay? So either way, any day, every day, price action will always win, okay? Using the market being an indicator is always the best thing, but you might be lucky upate indicators that really work for you, okay? So should you use indicators to trade? Okay, then kuna indicators zingine that you'll find some indicators which will work for you. Then kuna indicators zingine they won't even work for you at all, okay? So yeah, it's good to use indicators, but it's also not the best thing to do it. So you have to, kama you're going to be using indicators, just improvise on what you're doing, ama improvise on your trades, okay? So downloading custom indicators to your MT4. Hope tuko clear. Hope I'm clear because nilikuwa nimemute.
Go clear.
Okay, so downloading custom indicators kwa MT4. Ama anybody with a question about indicators na mapema. So how to download custom indicators. So there are few websites unaweza pata custom indicators. Okay guys, so for this example we'll just look for tunaweza tafuta kwa MQL5. Okay, so we're going to look for MT4 custom indicators. Okay, you can just download any indicator you want because I've already done that. Then once you have the indicator, once you download the indicator, this is basically what you should have. Okay, so we're going to be using this. We're going to use an example of any of these indicators, and I'm going to show you guys how to download how to install these indicators. Okay, so the first thing is tutatumia which one any of these. I'm trying to get an indicator yenye haitatupatia story mob. Okay, any will do. Okay, so what you do, unakuja kwa your MT4, okay? Then you go to file. Hope you guys get this process. Go to file. Ukienda to file, open data folder. Just a minute. So after my open file, open data folder, you open to MQL4, then indicators, okay? So you go back to the folder. You go back to the folder yenye iko na your downloaded indicator. Just a minute. So this is the file folder. So tunataka kutumia, okay, niko na so many installed already, but what we need, we're going to be using Forex. Okay. Okay, so what you do after Apple, you just come to this folder, drag and drop anywhere kwa indicators, okay? So you can see nilikuwa nayo already, so but we're going to replace the file, okay? So tunataka profit loss info v1 mod, okay? So once you've done that, just close, okay? So after that, unakuja kwa your chart, you either refresh, okay? Ama you can just close it, okay? You close it kabisa, that is. then reopen it. Just a minute to load. So yeah, so then you reopen it. Then sasa you go to insert, okay, indicators, then custom indicator, then after whichever indicator ulikuwa umeweka, this is it. So that's simple. But just I don't know how this indicator works. But either way, just a minute, what's up with it? Custom indicator details, okay, then okay. So yeah, there you have it. It's that simple. The process: file, open data folder. Okay, so the data folder itafunguka MQL4 indicators. Okay, so you can see the indicators zenye niko nazo. After that, unaenda kwa whichever indicator you downloaded, drag it and drop it hapa ama copy paste it. Okay, then kuna files lazima you extract your the indicators. So it's simple. Now in case you have any questions, uniulize tu. So yeah, that's how to install a custom indicator for your MT4. It's that simple. Okay, so profit, loss, whatever. Let's just take any trade. This is Euro USD. Any opinions on Euro USD? Buy. It's analyze. So this is just trying to get an open position. Okay. So we're going to buy. Remember volume, symbol, then stop loss, net profit. But this is just to analyze the indicator we have. This indicator. Okay. So I'm just going to buy by market. Okay. So you can see Euro USD profit. Yeah, profit and loss. I think total profit and loss in pips, if I'm not wrong. Then percentage, depending on whichever indicator you're using. Okay, so that is the advantage inakujanga na using MT4. Okay, using a demo account, you can always open positions to test your indicators. You can always open positions to confirm your indicator is working, ama to back test it. Okay, so just a minute. So let's just switch and go to something else, to another broker. This one, you're gonna so many. So yeah, so still not good, but anyway. So to installing ama kuweka indicators kwenye charts. So it's just simple. Insert. These are just the indicators that come with the MT4. Okay, so insert indicators. You can choose from whichever list to connect the trend indicators, the custom indicators. Okay, so depending on whichever one you want. Let's say nataka let's take for example, let's take for example tunataka kuweka kwa which currency? Yeah, gold. New chart. Okay, chart window. Okay, so tunataka kuweka specific, tunataka kuweka moving average kwa this chart. Okay, so what you do is basically unakuja kwa insert. Okay, then nataka indicator, custom indicator. You can either choose hapa kwa trend weke moving average, ama unaweza kuja kwa custom indicator, custom moving average. Okay, so nataka kuweka This is what should come up. So nataka kuweka 20, okay, 50 EMA. So ndakuja I select inputs, okay? So 50, okay? Nataka kuweka simple moving average ama nataka kuweka exponential ama nataka kuweka nini? There is no much difference, but personally mwenye alinifunza aliniambia nikuwe natumia exponential na hiyo ni YouTube. Reason behind it, I don't know. The difference, like any difference between them, it's not much. Then nataka which color, nataka kuweka whichever color, yellow of course. No, yellow. Okay, so nitaweka 50 moving exponential, moving average. That is what we call the EMA. Okay, then kuna color. What color do I want for that EMA? Nataka yellow. Okay, so just click OK, and there you have it. Okay, nataka kuweka another moving average, insert. Okay, indicators, custom indicator, custom moving average. Okay, then nataka inputs, nataka 100 EMA. Okay, so I just type in 100. Then nataka, you can go for simple EMA. Then ikuwe color gani? A green will do. Who is green? Yeah. Then okay. So I hope you can see this. So yeah, basically that's it. That's how you put up indicators. Okay. RSI, insert indicators, custom RSI, RSI. Okay, RSI 14. There you go. Hope this is clear. In case kuna any question, just ask. So there you go. So that's how you put up indicators on your chart. In case of any question, please ask. So backtesting indicators. So there are a few things you need to understand hapa. One, need these two, what do we call them? These two parts, these 2 points. So shift and from to the right corner, whatever. So basically, if you click on this, it'll bring your chart to at least a side direction. That way itakupatia room for you to be able to trade ama to analyze your chart na upate some room hapa mwisho. Okay, the other one, scroll chart to end whatever. Basically it allows you who are able to go back in time. Okay, so you can see this, you can go back in time as much as possible bila hiyo chart kujivuta mwisho. So the moment we click on it, you can see chart imerudi huko. Tukikosa click and deactivate it, as soon as we pull this chart itarudi mwisho. Hope you see that. Okay, so you need to understand how to use this to be able to backtest. Okay, this is just basic. There's a clip I sent juzi kwa the Telegram group, and it's going to assist more on backtesting indicators. Okay, so basically what we mean by backtesting indicators is putting up an indicator kwa chart, then going back in time and trying to analyze and see kama hiyo indicator ili work. Okay, so let's say tumeweka these two moving averages. Okay, so tunataka ku determine kama it's going to give us ama it's going to be a profitable indicator for us to use. Okay, so basically what we mean by moving averages ni the trend indicators. They show you the direction of the market. Okay, so you can see times cross hapa. Okay, so you can see from hapa times ili cross the 100 SMA iko chini ya the 50 market ilienda juu. Okay, the time zilikuja zika cross hapa, market ilienda chini. But then you can see this before zikuja zicross. I hope you can see what I'm trying to say. Okay, so is using this going to be more profitable as compared to finding another indicator, ama using it for another purpose badala ya kuingia market na kutoka. Okay, so you can see this now, kuingilia market mali zili cross, so ungeingilia market hapa. Okay, so when it comes to backtesting, usiassume ati just because imecross hapa ungeingilia market hapa. No, always wait, always go for that cross mali iko. Okay, so in this case tungeingilia market hapa around this candlestick. Okay, so you can see kama tuliingilia market around hapa. Okay, so that is our entry. Then market ikakuja, this is where they crossed for the first time. Okay, so how many pips are those? Kutoka hapo mpaka around hapo, around 921 pips. Not bad, but not the best. Okay, so you need to do all this. Then you need an indicator enye ita avoid such. Okay, by the time market ina move hivi itakuambia you should be out. Then market, then indicator ita avoid all this. You can see there was this cross, then there was this one, then there was this. You can see the market is more of consolidated, if I'm not wrong. Okay, around hapa, around hapa hivi, from there to around hapa. So you can see how much ama the effect ama what happened within this zone. Okay, so hapa ungebuy, no pips there. So you can see it's not, this is not good because lazima consider your stop loss. Okay, so for me ama for you ukiingilia market hapa si zime cross, so you're going for a long hapa, your stop loss is definitely going to be below them. Okay, hapa, so you can see stop loss yako ilikuwa triggered. Okay, then maybe ukuja uingilia tena hapa, basically you would still not really make money out of it, but depends with you, depends with how you're approaching the market, ama depends with how you using an indicator. Okay, because each indicator ama the thing is it all depends with personal approaches. Kuna mtu atatumia this indicator na a bigger time frame, kuna mtu atatumia the indicators na a shorter time frame. Just make sure whatever you're using umeitest for at least a month before you put it into a live account. Okay, that way utakuwa able kudetermine, utakuwa very comfortable with the trading ama utajua the ups and downs of whatever you're using. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Then RSI. So what happens na RSI ni apparently ikifika above 70, this is 70, then the market has been overbought. Okay, depending on whichever system you're using. Okay, and then ikifika below 30, the market has been oversold. Okay, so the main reason I don't like RSI ni, let's take for example this. Okay, so hapa ingetuambia the market is oversold, we buy. Okay, so kutoka hapo mpaka around hapa, so this is basically backtesting. Okay, going back in time, trying to find easy points and trying to analyze the market. Okay, so tuko na hii point, just a minute, tuko na this point yenye ingetuambia tuko na hiyo point around hapa. You need to be very specific. See this was the first cross. Okay, so that's one point. Then tuko na this point around hapa. for making sense. In case upotee, just tell me. Tuko na that point of which ingekuwa slightly nyuma, around somewhere comfortable. Yeah. Hapo. So you can see this. Market vile ilifika the 70 point ama the oversold zone, ungeingilia sell. Let's say tuingilie hapa. Okay. Is it going to pay? Yeah, it's going to pay. Then kuna this point. Apparently this is an overbought point. So you're going to sell at around hapa. Okay. Then what happens? All this. Okay. So you can see this is in your pips ngapi? 172. Come on, honestly. But kama ni mchezo ingine, 172 pips is a lot of money that you should not even think about risking. Then tuko na this point. Okay. So let's say tuingie sell hapa. Okay. So tumeingilia our sell after this candle close. Tukaingilia sell hapa. Tuko na all this. I'm certain this is over 20 pips. Yeah, actually 40. So you can see the need ama why you should backtest all these indicators. Okay. Then it all depends on the indicator you're using. MAs zinatumika, moving averages, they're usually trend indicators. So what happens ni the aim is to basically give you the trend ama the direction the market is moving. Okay. So personally I use them and they're very good on my system. Okay. Get me right, on my system. On whatever I use, I usually use MAs. But you can see I used 250. I used 250 na 20. Okay. So you can see why I use them. This is the trend. Okay. Tuko na less than 5 minutes or 8 minutes. This is the trend. The market is moving upwards. The reason I prefer them ni they will tell me time market imeanza kumisbehave. And by misbehaving, ni time market imeanza kubreak out of that trend. Okay? Ama mali market imeanza kuchange direction. Okay? But then the disadvantage that comes with this, you can see this. Okay? So yes, zili cross, then zikarudi juu, they crossed again, then zikarudi chini. So you can see all these. Kama nilikuwa natumia moving averages on their own, ningekuwa nimemake a lot of loss, of which inge take away all the profit ama 90% of the profit that I made on this move upwards. But you can see what happens with the moving averages. Kama kuna a certain trend, kama market in a trend, you can see kuna this point. You can see market in a bounce from the EMAs. Okay, itarudi chini, then it bounce from this point. Itarudi chini, bounce from this point. Okay, so basically that's the advantage that comes with EMAs. But then you can see 90% of the times mtakupata off guard. Okay, so you really need to be specific. In the end of the day, EMAs, they're good, but you need to use them with something else. Okay, but then that is basically testing your indicators. You need to test these indicators. Go back in time. Okay, then another thing, you need to be very careful with the time frames unatumia kwa these indicators, because the other thing people get confused juu ya, utapata mtu alitest a specific indicator kwa daily time frame all his demo live in 1 month, then akiingia live they want to use 1 hour ama 4 hours to try and determine where the market is likely to go, ama to try and get the move kwa markets. Okay, so you need to be very clear and specific on the time frames unatumia pia. If you're going to be analyzing the market kwa one day and using the EMAs kwa 1 hour to determine kama trend imeanza ama haijaanza, that's a good approach. Okay, kama utatumia one day to determine the trend na to determine the trend line support na nini, well and good. Okay, so but if you're going to use indicators na whatever you know in forex, that is price action, it's really going to work out for you. Okay, so yeah, that's basic information in indicators. You have to go and do more research. Okay, because mimi the most I can give you hata sijui, it's just to show you how they work, how to an example of how to do it, but in the end of the day I won't give you much on them because personally I don't like them, don't use them. Price action is the way to go, but they're always good to know. Then for the custom indicators, test as many as you can. Okay, so the more you get, the better for you. Let me just see if I can get examples. So okay, I don't know ni gani, but I think we're going to test. Okay. Yeah. So you can see this is Arun up and down. This is okay. People say this is a good indicator. I'm still to see that. Then Rex oscillator, Arun up and down. Okay, so you need to make sure you go back in time, same process, understand what the indicator is supposed to do, what the indicator is supposed to give you. Once you understand that, the next thing is go to your chart. Unaweza enda daily, determine kama ni a period of 5 years, ama whichever time ayumangi, you can go as back as much as possible. Then determine, is it really working? Tafuta hizi points, market iliturn at around this point, what happened kwa the Rex oscillator? Okay, so ili cross the 0 point, ikaenda chini. Interesting. Okay, then that is for entry. Okay, but sasa ungeingilia market somewhere hapa hivi, so you can see that is a late entry, but it's a good entry either way. You can never be perfect for markets. Then there is this point. Okay, so according to Rex oscillator, ungetokea market hapa, you can see miss all these pips downwards. Okay, then you can be buy, so a bad one. So you can see the logic behind it. But if you can work around this and get the best outcome, it's going to pay. If you're going to use this with something else, come on, EMA, okay, EMA, whichever you want, maybe it's going to give you something you can work with. Then you can see this. Ingekupatia late entry for this uptrend. Remember, this is a daily time frame. Okay? So you need to catch all this. This is 600 pips. Na ungetumia this indicator, ungepata only less than 200. Okay, so yeah, you can see the importance of backtesting an indicator. So either way, for me personally, this is not a good indicator. As much as naitumia peke yake, I won't go just for it hivo. Okay, so you can see this entry ni hapa. So I'm trying to match up these points na hapa. Okay, but I hope you guys see this. Then tuko na run up and down. zikicross. Okay, you get the logic. Niko na one less than a minute. I'll send this, then we'll be back for a few minutes. We'll be back after I send this. I'll just tell you immediately when. So yeah, then get your questions ready, everyone mwenye ako nayo.